The demise of one of its most cherished characters is being mourned by the theater and television industries. At the age of 93, Prunella Scales, the renowned British actress best known for her iconic performance as Sybil Fawlty in the venerable sitcom Fawlty Towers, passed dead. Over the course of her more than 70-year career, Scales has become one of Britain's most beloved performers, thanks to her keen wit, flawless timing, and warmth. For everyone who loved her tenacity, grace, and dedication to the performing arts, as well as for those who grew up seeing her as the witty hotelier beside John Cleese, her passing signifies the end of an era. The death of Scales serves as a moving reminder of a generation of performers who helped to define the heyday of British comedy and theatre. Early years and creative origins. Prunella Margaret Rumby Illingworth, popularly known as Prunella Scales, was born in Sutton-Abinger, Surrey, England, on June 22, 1932. She has a natural talent for performance from an early age. Her early love in the arts was sparked by her mother, Catherine Scales, a performer and amateur actor, and her father, John Richardson Illingworth, a cotton merchant. When Prunella started her acting career, she took on her mother's maiden name, which would eventually come to represent brilliance in British television. Before attending one of the most prestigious acting schools in the nation, the Old Vic Theatre School in London, Scales had her education at the Moira House Girls' School in Eastbourne. It was there that she honed her craft and created the combination of wit and intelligence that would come to characterize her performance. The ascent of a star. Early in the 1950s, when the British theatre world was experiencing a renaissance, Scales made his professional debut. She demonstrated her versatility and variety by participating in a number of stage shows. She received great acclaim for her early work with the Oxford Playhouse and Bristol Old Vic companies, which also gave her access to television and movies. Scales was a well-known figure on British television by the 1960s. Her roles alongside Richard Brere's in successful shows like Marriage Lines, 1961 to 1966, showcased her ability to blend humor and emotional nuance. Her genuineness drew viewers in. While she was humorous, she was also very human. She stands out for her expressive face, great comedic timing, and capacity to make even the most straightforward statement memorable. The part that made her a household name will soon be the ideal manifestation of these traits. The victory of Fawlty Towers. Few could have imagined the cultural phenomenon that Fawlty Towers would become when it debuted on BBC Two in 1975. The show, which was created by John Cleese and Connie Booth, chronicled the misadventures of Basil Fawlty, an agitated and often frustrated hotel proprietor, and his equally intimidating wife, Sybil. Scales created one of the most iconic characters in television history as Sybil Fawlty. Cleese's crazy, neurotic Basil was the ideal counterpoint to her bright, witty, domineering, and completely unflappable Sybil. Scales added an unparalleled energy to the concert with her unique laugh and sharp one-liners. Scales and Cleese had an electrifying relationship. The two performers remained deeply respectful of one another despite the mayhem of the made-up hotel. Cleese frequently referred to her as a comic genius with perfect instincts, attributing Basil's insanity to her own form of restrained dominance. Fawlty Towers became a pivotal event in television history, even though it only ran for 2 series, totaling 12 episodes. Scales' depiction of Sybil is now among the most iconic in British comedy, and every episode was painstakingly written and performed. Decades later, the show still attracts new viewers from all around the world, with admirers imitating Sybil's distinctive voice and quoting her phrases. Beyond Fawlty Towers, an adaptable profession. Scales avoided the trap that many actors fall into when they are cast in a single, well-known role. Her work after Fawlty Towers was extensive and diversified, encompassing theater, radio, television, and film. She starred in a number of theater plays, such as King Lear, An Ideal Husband, and A Question of Attribution, in which she played Queen Elizabeth II and was nominated for a BAFTA. Her portrayal of the Queen was so well received that it went on to become one of the most iconic depictions of the Queen in contemporary theater. Scales showed the same adaptability on screen. She starred in comedies like The Merry Wives of Windsor and After Henry, as well as the Merchant Ivory classic, Howard's End, 1992, which won several Academy Awards. Her voice was instantly identifiable. It was powerful and warm, able to convey both gravity and laughter. Collaboration in life and art. Scales' long-lasting collaboration with fellow actor Timothy West was one of the most marriages in British theatre. The couple spent over 60 years together after getting married in 1963. Their chemistry went much beyond their onstage and on-screen appearances. Later on, Scales and West gained popularity for their documentary series Great Canal Journeys, which followed the pair as they took narrowboats around Britain's waterways. What started out as a mild trip program quickly evolved into something more profound. A loving account of love, friendship, and fortitude in the face of aging and sickness. Millions were impacted by the couple's candor about Scales' Alzheimer's diagnosis in the middle of the 2010s. Viewers witnessed the love and comedy that had characterized their marriage persist throughout the series, despite the fading of memories. "We've had a lifetime of laughter together, and that's what keeps us afloat," West once said. Their tale became proof of how love can overcome adversity. Honors and acknowledgement. Prunella Scales received many honors and recognitions during her lifetime. In recognition of her contributions to theater and television, she was named Commander of the Order of the British Empire, CBE, in 1992. Beyond awards and accolades, however, her greatest accomplishment was the love she evoked in both audiences and coworkers. She was frequently referred to by her fellow actresses as the epitome of professionalism, since she was consistently on time, well-prepared, and kind to younger actors. Despite her fame, her coworkers praised her modesty. She was renowned for staying late to practice lines, bringing homemade sandwiches to rehearsals, and chatting with stagehands. For Scales, performing was about joy, art, and connection rather than stardom. The last curtain. As her disease worsened, Scales progressively withdrew from public life in her latter years. She struggled with memory loss, but her charm and sense of humor never diminished. According to many who knew her, her humor and wit never failed to brighten any space. The entertainment industry is in mourning over her death at the age of 93. In remembrance of a lady who contributed to the development of contemporary British comedy, tributes have poured in from fans, writers, and other actors. "She was the heart of Fawlty Towers," her co-star John Cleese said in an emotional tribute. "Without her, Sybil, I could not have completed Basil. She improved all of us and made everything funnier." Dame Judi Dench referred to her as a true national treasure who made us laugh and made us think, while Emma Thompson hailed her a beacon of intelligence and grace. A durable legacy. A spectacular chapter in British performing arts came to an end with Prunella Scales passing, but her legacy lives on. She has served as an inspiration to generations of comedians and actors, demonstrating that humor can be both intelligent and emotional. Her performance as Sybil Fawlty is still a masterclass in character development, timing, and nuance. There were layers of significance in every raised eyebrow, snide remark, and withering gaze. She realized that genuine humor is found in saying the most with the least, not in yelling the loudest. Scales supported the arts as a mentor and educator in addition to her performances. She encouraged young artists to pursue storytelling with honesty and passion by supporting a number of theater schools and charitable organizations. Her boys, Samuel and Joseph, have both pursued careers in acting and directing, carrying on their parents' tradition. They have frequently mentioned their mother's humor and knowledge, calling her the heart of our family, always curious, always laughing. Recalling Prunella and Sybil. For millions of people, Scales will always be Sybil, the woman with painted nails, a beehive hairstyle, and scathing comments that could stop Basil cold. However, she was much more to those who knew her. A devoted mother, a loving wife, a faithful friend, and the epitome of a professional. Her humanity was what set her apart. She always aimed to enhance a scene rather than control it. She addressed every assignment with passion and regard for her audience, whether it was a travel documentary, a sitcom, or a performance of Shakespeare. During one of her last interviews, Scales thought modestly about her career. "I've simply been fortunate," she remarked. "I'm fortunate to have enjoyed what I do, to have worked with wonderful people, and to have made people laugh." These words now perfectly capture her life, one that was full, imaginative, and kind. A nation bids farewell. It's obvious that Prunella Scales will never be fully forgotten as the tributes keep coming in. Her laughter can still be heard in reruns of Fawlty Towers and in the recollections of those who had the honor of working with her. Her work is still deeply ingrained in British society. She once stated that hearing someone say, "I believed you," was the greatest compliment an actor